But let's get that final answer to our wetland eye quiz. Miranda?
82% answered correctly. The correct answer to answer 4 was C. A salt marsh, a type of wetland that has salty soil that is flooded and exposed by tides and found along the shores of bays and oceans. Thank you for playing this game with us here in Vancouver. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Miranda. So we've got one more student group waiting to report out to you about what they've been doing. They've been recording their bird observations. Maya, what have the birding students found?
Well, we're back with Holly Middleton, who has been making field observations with this group of students. Holly, can you explain a little bit about what you've been doing out here with these kids?
Yeah, I took the kids out to learn how to count birds, so how to identify them and how to count the numbers that are there. And so one thing we learned is when you have a big flock of birds, you want to figure out how many birds are there. And one way of doing that is figuring out first how many birds are in a very small area and getting used to counting how many are there. And say if there's 10 there, then you can find out how many there are in the blocks of different parts of the rest of the flock. And that way, that's how scientists estimate how many birds are there. Another way we do that is by listening for them. Each bird makes a different kind of noise, and by listening for all of those different sounds, you're able to count the birds without actually ever having to see them.
And how many species did you count? Was there a type of bird that was particularly common?
How many birds did we get, Olivia?
We got 130 birds.
That's a lot. And was there a bird that you saw a lot of?
There are a lot of ducks, right? That was probably the biggest number. But we had one really, really cool bird. Remember the peregrine falcon? Does anyone know how fast it can fly?
I do.
It flies at least 200 miles per hour.
That's right. That's the fastest animal on the planet, and we have it right here.
This is so cool. Boundary Bay is known as a birding hotspot, and you can see lots of birds out here right now. But the numbers of shorebirds are really high in the spring when millions stop here because of the wealth of worms and other food that's in the mud. Back to you, Sarah.